Hey Japeechen Scouters, Justin here. And ever since we started talking about building our treehouse a few days ago, I've been so excited I could barely sleep. I just couldn't wait till we could all get back together and practice. So today, I thought we'd go over one of my favorite lashings, the tripod lashing. I've prepared one in advance for us to examine. Let's take a look. Okay, let's just set this up on the table. There we go. Just like that. Okay. This is a lot bigger than I remember it being. There's got to be a way that we can shrink this down so you can see it on your screen and we can work on it together. I have an idea. Let's get out our patented Shrink Ray 5000. The problem with the Shrink Ray 5000 is it's very loud. So today, why don't we use some pieces that I've pre-shrunk? We won't need this anymore. Or this. There we go. That's much better. I've prepared this small model so we can talk about some things you can do with a tripod lashing. A few days ago, in the comments, I asked you to think about it. What did you come up with? What if we took a tarp and covered our tripod? It kind of looks like a tent. And if we had this festive Ewok, he could even live in that tent. That's pretty cool, right? What else? Seems like we could hang something from the tripod. Could we hang some clothes from it to dry? Maybe some water? What about this decorative pocket watch? That's pretty cool. Let's try it. And there we go. That makes a pretty good decorative pocket watch holder. What are some other things we could do with a tripod? Based on its shape, it seems like it makes a very sturdy base. Could we build from the top of it? It looks like we could build a platform if we had a few of them and connect them. That would be great. There's lots of things you can do with a tripod. Today, let's work on tying one together. All of our lashings will start with the same knot, and that knot is called the clove hitch. Do you remember how to tie the clove hitch? If you don't, let's practice together once more. Let's get out our patented rope tying demonstration-o-matic and our handy-dandy piece of string and see if we remember. To tie this knot, we're going to work exclusively with one end. Let's take that end and drape it over the pole. Then, let's take that same end and bring it around and cross it over itself and make an X. That's pretty easy so far, right? Okay. Now let's take that same end and bring it around a third time. Then, let's take our pinching fingers, pinch the X, and slide the tail right underneath it, and then pull it together. Let me move it forward so you can see what it looks like when it's done correctly. Great. I hope you remembered how to tie the clove hitch. Let's move on. We're going to use it quite a few times over the next week. To start any lashing project, you'll need some rope and some poles to lash together. I have these small pre-shrunk poles for you to see. If you don't have some pre-shrunk poles, there's lots of things you can use. Do you have some straight sticks in your backyard? Those are great. What about a Boy Scout walking stick? That makes a perfect lashing pole. Or, if you don't have any of those, you can even borrow your mom's broom. We don't need that part anymore. This makes a great lashing pole too. Okay. So today, so you can see exactly what we're doing, I'm going to get out another of my patented contraptions. This is called the log that we lift things on, and it will give you a bird's eye view of the lashing as I make it. For the tripod lashing, we're going to start with 3 poles. 1, 2, 3. Great. To begin our lashing, we're going to tie our clove hitch. So let's come around the pole, make an X, around a third time, pinch the X and go right underneath it. There we go. Perfect. Let's slide it down so we have some room to work. Okay. So to begin our lashing, we're going to start by weaving. We're going to take our rope and we're going to go underneath the second pole, and then over top of the third pole. Then we're going to do that all in reverse. We're going to come underneath the third pole, over top of the second pole, underneath the first pole, and then, I bet you can guess where I'm going with this, we're going to do it all over again. We're going to make 5 wraps. 2, 3, 4, and 5. When we finish, let's pull these as tight as we can and straighten them together. This step is called wrappings. Now, we're going to move on to step 2. Step 2 is called frappings. So now we're going to take our rope, come over the first one, and then instead of going under, now we're going to come between the poles. So we're going to go between the first and second pole, and we're going to pull really tight here. Then we're going to do that again. We're going to go between the first and second pole, and we're going to pull it really tight. Then we're going to move on and go between pole 2 and 3. So we're going to go behind pole 2, and now we're going to go down between pole 2 and 3, and we're going to pull it really tight. We're going to do that one more time, and we're going to pull it really tight, and then we're going to end with a clove hitch. Let's come around our pole, cross it over, around again, pick up the X, and slide it right underneath there. Sometimes this part's a little tricky. And then let's pull it tight. There we go. That's a great lashing. Let's move the log that we lift things with and set up our lashing. We're going to take the 2 pieces on the sides, put them forward, the piece in the middle, and pull it back, and there we go. We have a perfect tripod lashing. Do you think you can practice this tripod lashing at home? I think you can. Tomorrow, we'll come back and work on some other lashings. I hope you had fun today, and remember, while we're at home for the next month, stay safe and stay scouting.